Hey, welcome to day 2 of the 30-day money course. I am Elizabeth Bukwa and I'm going to be your hostess throughout this course. Today, we're talking all about goalposts, setting your goalposts. Yesterday, we talked about vision, writing down our vision, our financial vision for our lives. And thank you for everyone who actually did the work. I got emails day one done, popping through my emails all day. So I was very pleased about that. Now, with regards to day 2, setting your goals, we're going to be talking about 3 main goals: short-term goals, long-term goals, and legacy goals. Before we go into that, I'm Elizabeth Bukwa. As I said, I'm the founder of Wealth from Little, and I'm going to be your hostess in this 30-day money course. So it's nice to meet you. I help women change the way they think about money so that they can start building wealth. I work primarily with professionals and entrepreneurs. Now, setting goalposts. There are 3 main goals, as I said: short-term goals, long-term goals, and legacy goals. Now, your short-term goals could be in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, and in the next 1 year. What you want to do now, right? And this can be in any category. In terms of your savings, how much do you want to save in the next 1 month, 3 months, 6 months? In terms of debt repayment, how much would you like to pay off? In terms of your income, how would you like to increase? How much would you like to increase your income by, for example? In terms of your career progression or business growth, what are your goals in those areas in the short term? Now, this can also be in the long term. So long term is a bit longer. It's like 2 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, right? So those goals are much longer, and they can incorporate a multiple of mini goals along the way. So where would you like your savings to be in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years? Where would you like your career to be in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years? Or your business, how much revenue would you like your business to be bringing in the next 5 years? And how much investments would you like how much would you like your portfolio to be worth, your investment portfolio to be worth in the next 5 years, right? Now, you don't need to know exactly how you're going to do it, but you need to write it down now that these are the goals. And as you write it down, you start finding out the steps that you're going to do to accomplish them. These goals help you accomplish the overall vision that you wrote for yourself yesterday. Now, legacy goals. Legacy goals are more about other people. They're more about things that you're going to do or how you're going to help other people, like your family, your community, those around you, in your church, in your neighborhood, or in the world at large. We're now a global village. It's how you want to use your money to impact the lives of others. That's legacy goals. So you can write it down. Maybe you have a desire. You want to build a school one day. You want to, support a charity in a big way. You want to help orphans. You want to help widows in some big way, in any way. And you can start writing that down because you want to ensure that you also accomplish these legacy goals and you leave a legacy when you're gone. People will remember that this person helped me. And even if they don't know that you helped them, you've left a piece of yourself behind even before you left. Now, this can also be legacy for your family, for your children. What would you like to leave behind with them? Now we're talking about financial legacy, right? But you can also think about other things that you'd like to leave behind in terms of legacy. So it's a good time to also think about that. Okay. In creating these goals, there are some things I want you to think about, because I want to ensure that you know what would help you catapult yourself to achieving these goals and what would stop you from achieving them. Great. Okay, so first things first. Is the goal a positive goal? When you write the goal, make sure that you're writing it in a positive way, something that you're excited about, in a way that you're excited about it. For example, if you say, I don't want to be poor as a goal, that is not as much as it's a good goal, it's not a positive goal. It's better to write it more in the terms of, I want to have 10,000, pounds, rand, dollars in my savings account in the next 2 years, right? Now, next thing is, how much do you actually want this goal? In a scale of 1 to 10, where would you score yourself? How much do you really want it? If it's a savings goal, how much do you really want to save this money? If it's a debt repayment goal, how much do you really want to repay this debt? If it's an investment portfolio goal, how much do you really want to increase your investments? If it's a business growth goal, how much do you really want to build this particular business that you're in? Because this is important, because if you don't really want it, after you write this goal and you're looking for the motivation to actually get it done, you will not find it. So if you notice that you're lacking motivation to do the things that you say you want to do, check if you actually want to do it. Okay, next thing is responsibility. Are you responsible for this goal? Do you actually own the goal? And if you do, own it. Now I'm going to explain what I mean by do you own the goal, so you don't misunderstand me in any way. If I said my goal is for myself and my husband to save a certain amount of money, £100 in the next week, now that is going to be a very tricky goal to achieve. Not because I don't want to save this £100 in the next week, but because I do not own my husband, neither can I make him do something he doesn't want to do. Back to the first question, how much do you really want it? I might really want to do it, but because I've made the goal about him as well, if he doesn't really want to do it, then it's going to really cause some friction on the way to achieving this goal. It's going to be really hard for us to achieve it together. So you have to ensure that you are the only one responsible for your goal, because you cannot control other people. So don't make a goal that involves your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your children, your husband. Make a goal that involves you alone. Now, if you have a goal that is supposed to be joint, you need to make sure that the other person is completely on board. So if you're a couple and you're married and you want to save a certain amount together, or you're friends and you're all trying to save a certain amount of money together, or you're trying to achieve something, your business partners, you're trying to build this certain business in a certain way, you need to make sure that you both take full responsibility for the goal and you both actually want the goal. That's the only way you will not sabotage yourself. Next thing is your senses. Where will you see? What will you see? What will you hear? What will you feel when you've actually got your goal? This is bringing vision back into this equation. And that is, now I'm saying, look into the future. You've achieved it. What will you see? What will you hear? What will you feel, right? Will you see a bank statement with your name and your savings account number with, 1 week's time, I've saved £100. Would you see that? Would you get a call from your bank manager telling you paid off 20,000 in debt? Would you get a call from your business partner telling you that you guys made a revenue of $1 million this year or this month? How would you feel? Would you feel excited? Will you jump for joy? Will you feel elated when you actually achieve this goal, right? So you want to know exactly what you would see, what you would hear, and how you would feel in advance. And pay attention to what you actually realize. Because if you feel sad when you achieve this goal, or you feel any form of negative feeling when you actually achieve it, it's a red flag. And it means that you might, at some point, find a way to stop yourself from achieving this goal, because no one wants to intentionally feel pain. Okay. The next thing is more about ecology. That is, what impact what will the impact be? Got my words twisted there. What will the impact be on you and others when you actually get your goal? Now, this is a very important question, because if you achieve a goal and the impact on you is positive, you're happy, you're excited, then you will want to continue, and you know that if there's in advance that the impact will be positive, you will actually push yourself to get into this a positive place. But if you know that when you achieve it, something negative could happen, you might stop yourself from achieving that goal. Now, let's say, crazy example, I'm just making this up from the top of my head, right? And I'm going to keep it to money. You are in a group of friends and all of your friends have so much debt, but you go out, you have fun, you don't really worry about money because credit cards are always there. Now, so now everyone has a lot of debt, but you all enjoy each other's company. Let's say you now decide that you want to pay off all your debt, but all your friends are still in debt. And so when I ask the question, what impact will be on you and on others? Now, if the impact on others is once you pay off your debt, they start thinking, what? This guy is not like us anymore. This person has now paid off their debt. Now they're rich. Oh, do they feel too big? Are they big-headed? Or they start treating you different. They start making you feel different. They start making you feel unwanted in a way. It will stop you from wanting to achieve that goal. It could stop you from wanting to achieve that goal, because if you treasure that relationship and those people will react negatively to you at achieving that goal, it's not going to be something you would easily achieve, especially if you want to keep that relationship. For another example, let's say you want to progress in your career. But progressing in your career means that you're going to have to leave the country and move somewhere else. And if you're married with children and you love your children, you love your spouse, and you love living in the country where you currently are, but you have to move somewhere else to progress, or you have to move to a different state or a different area to progress, if your partner would feel sad and unhappy that you have to move, then it might impact you actually getting that career progression that you want. Do you get what I mean? So it might impact the way you think about it, which might halt you from actually giving it all you've got. So you might keep saying to yourself, I'm going to achieve this goal. I'm going to achieve it. But in the back of your mind, you're saying to yourself, I can't achieve this goal because I don't want to hurt my partner. I don't want to leave my children, and I don't want to move to this next state or this next area. This is just an example. So you have to think about, what will the impact be on you and others? Now, if it's something negative and you think that it could affect your goal, talk it out. Talk it out and understand it now before you get on this journey, so that there's nothing that will actually stop you, right? And the last thing I want you to encourage you to do is to think about the past. Right? Remember your past wins. Remember all the great things that have happened to you in the past. Remember all your past testimonies. You have past goals in the past. You have accomplished goals in the past. You have decided maybe it's to pass a driving test. Maybe it's, to learn to drive, pass a driving test. Maybe it's to pass an exam, to finish school. You actually set a goal and you did it, right? What skills and talents did you use in that to achieve that goal? What did you do? Were you resilient when you were trying to pass the driving test because you knew you were going to be able to drive and have some independence? Were you ecstatic to finish school because you couldn't wait to start university and experience a new life? Or anything in those different, in any area? What talents and skills did you use in the past to achieve your goals? Think about it, remember them, and try and bring them back into this new goal setting and see how we can recycle it. So for today, your assignment is to actually clearly set out your short-term, long-term, and legacy goals, right? Now, I want you to do this, get your notebook and write down your short-term goals. What do you want to do and by when? So your short-term goal can be 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, but don't leave it to in the next 1 or 2 or 3. Decide in the next 1 month, in the next 30 days, I am going to finish the 30-day money course and I will do every assignment. In the next 60 days, I am going to save this amount of money. In the next 30 days, I am going to put this amount towards, repaying debt. In the next 40 days, I am going to start investing, right? You need to put a date to it. Then for your long-term goals, also put a date. In the next 2 years, by December 2024, this is going to happen. By January 2028, this is going to happen. Write down what is going to happen by what date in your short term, in your long-term goals, and in your legacy goals. Even in your legacy goals, I want you to put a date to it. Now, that date is flexible. All these dates are flexible because if you miss the goal, you miss it, it doesn't mean that you failed in any way. It just means you reassess and you understand why you missed this date, and then you set a new date and you keep going. Don't hold yourself back, stuck in, oh, I missed this, I'm not good enough, or any kind of negative emotion. You reassess and keep going. So that's it. So when you finish this assignment, you've written out your short-term, your long-term, and any legacy goals that you have to positively impact your community, your family, your the world around you, how you're going to leave this earth a better place after you left, after we all leave, then send me an email with day 2 done. Day 2 done. Send me an email. And this is for accountability, to ensure that you actually do the work. Now, if you do all this every single day for the next 30 days, and I get all your 30 emails, day 2 done, day 3 done, all the way to 30, there will be a prize, not just for one, for every single person who does all the 30 days, and it's going to be a good one too. So that's the end of day 2. I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Remember to start setting your goalposts and get ready for day 3. Good luck.